Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Rice Report. I want to wish you a happy new year and many successes to all of you and your family. I hope that you had a happy holidays. I wanted to give you a brief synopsis of some of the things that I've worked on for the year of 2011 and also what we're looking forward to in 2012. I did want to start off with one of the things that I initially started my very first Rice Report talking about, which is Clarksburg. And we've come a long way from a master plan amendment that allows for a grocery store to a brand new owner of Clarksburg Town Center, Elm Street Development, that has promised some new and innovative things for the Clarksburg community. I had vowed that Clarksburg would be back on track, and I'm happy to report that we are now there. And while we continue to work on a myriad of other things that are going to bring great things to Clarksburg, I can assure the residents in knowing that everyone knows how important Clarksburg is and the things that we need to do to make it successful. Just recently we celebrated the groundbreaking for Plum Recreation Center in Germantown. And this has been a community center that has long been dilapidated, undersized, and overutilized by the community. And so it was a great opportunity for us to be able to celebrate and bringing a brand new facility, that Plum Recreation Center, to fruition. And so I'm very happy with residents like Joe Nelson, who was very passionate about making sure that this Plum Recreation Center came to be, to see that it's now on track and moving forward and should be developed relatively soon. I also want to talk about Olney. My folks in Olney were very concerned about the closing of the Olney Library, and I'm happy to report that in conjunction with the county executive as well as my staff that they've worked together on bringing together a kiosk that will be coming to Olney very soon, and this kiosk will allow for books to be returned and some other basic services so that our Olney residents aren't disconnected. And I have to send a special thanks to Director of Libraries Parker Hamilton for her understanding and being in her service to the Olney community and understanding how important this was for Olney. I also did want to talk about the groundbreaking for the Gaithersburg Library that's right near Montgomery Village. That was a great win for the community as well. That's one of our oldest libraries in our system. And to see that library now coming about, it's going to be multi-levels. Had a chance to go over the plans with a number of people in the community, and we're very excited. So a lot of great things are coming to our library system. We have a lot of new libraries that are on track, and so I'm very happy to see that something that was so important for our community is being realized and that a lot of our libraries are being revamped. Now, I had mentioned before about Montgomery Village and talking about the Gaithersburg Library, but we've also had some crime trends that have started to go in a direction that we don't want them to. We've had a rash of robberies as well as a shooting in Montgomery Village. And I recently attended a meeting with stakeholders from the business community, from the community at large, from the Montgomery Village Homeowners Association, as well as the police department. And we are on top of this. I can tell you right now that in my conversations with Commander Willie Parker Lone have been great in terms of understanding that we need to place more troops on the ground and making sure that our citizens feel protected. And in this upcoming budget, it's going to be a priority of mine that we add additional officers to our budget to make sure that areas of the Up County are not underserved. I've had conversations with Commander Luther Reynolds of the 5th District about some of the crime trends that we also see in the northern parts of the Up County, especially in Germantown and Damascus. And I know they just recently conducted a raid in that area that proved to be very successful in stamping out some of the drug problems in those areas. And so we want to continue to do that, make sure that we have a strong, firm hold in making sure that criminals understand that there is no place for them here in Montgomery County. And I think we can continue to do that with providing our police the resources necessary to make that happen. So that will be another budget priority of mine. I did want to talk about, as we approach the middle of January, the upcoming legislative session in Annapolis. And as many of you know, I used to serve in the General Assembly as a delegate, and I'm now here in the council, and so have a very unique position representing the council at MACO, the Maryland Association of Counties. And I recently attended a conference there to where I had great conversations with Joe Bryce, the governor's chief legislative officer, and talked to him in great detail about what was important for Montgomery County and the priorities that were there. I was joined at this conference by Council President Roger Berliner, as well as Council Member George Leventhal and Council Member Nancy Florine. And together we made a valiant effort to make sure that people understood how important it was that money come back to Montgomery County. We are the economic engine of the state, as was said by President Mike Miller of the Maryland Senate. And so I think that it's important to understand that while we are the economic engine of the state, we also need the resources that go along with that. And so when it comes to teacher pensions, when it comes to maintenance of effort, those are things that we need to really make sure we're looking at very closely to make sure that Montgomery County is held harmless. We need to continue on the pathway that I think we've started on, which is starting to bring about more jobs and a stronger economy. And only working in conjunction with the state can we make that happen. As this upcoming budget cycle comes about, I've already started posting questions on my Facebook page, and I encourage you to weigh in to let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think we're doing is working well as things that we need to do better. Because only together are we going to continue to pull ourselves out of this economic period in which we face many challenges. I look forward to working with you over this next year. I think that this represents a year where we will see a lot of different things happen here in Montgomery County. I think you'll see us doing business a little bit differently as well, which I think is always a positive. And I think that in collaboration with the other council members as well as with our other government stakeholders, both not only just at the state level, but also regionally, we can move ourselves forward. So I encourage you to always stay in contact with us. Please feel free to call my office at 240-777-7955. You can reach me on my Facebook page. You can follow me on Twitter. It's Rice Politics. And of course, you can also always email us, craig.rice@montgomerycountymaryland.gov. So thank you very much for tuning in to another edition of the Rice Report from my office, your office here in Rockville. Thank you, and God bless.